Yo,
What's up? What's up? Good evening.
yes. So we are here again, live for our weekly segment for our Unfold. How are you, pal?
All good, all good. Good evening, Joe. How are you? Kumain ka na?
Yes, kakakain ko lang, no? Katapos
Mm,
lang. So, mukhang
Nice.
marami tayong pag-usapan ngayon, ano?
Actually, yeah. A bunch of stuff that happened for this month. Actually, yung month na to is kind of like macro market month. Kasi madaming pinag-usapan si Powell eh. I think the show of the or like the person of the month is actually Powell for macro market. Dami kasing mangyari ngayon. We have CPI. We have FOMC. So these are like the events that will move markets. We actually have parang opening scheme pagpapasok ka sa Unfold. Are you bull or bear? Thanks to JC for sharing. Ikaw, Joe, ano ka? Bull or bear ka for this week?
Yeah, I'm actually looking for the current market most especially sa technical side kasi uh, yun i-explain natin mamaya kung bakit bearish ako konti sa market ngayon, no? So actually, I'm a sort of bearish and also a sort of bullish in a way. Yun. So
Okay.
ang palang play safe ako, no?
Sa akin kasi lagi naman ako bullish. Well, it's because of my perspective in crypto. No, I am long term. So whether it becomes bull or bear for this week doesn't really matter because I'm just cost averaging in. So having the best entry definitely is for people who trade. But for me, it's like been here in the space for a long time. I don't want to stress out, and we're doing a lot of things as well. So I just cost average in. So I think there's a reason why we're I don't know half bearish, half bullish, kind of neutral but leaning bearish, no, because of the things that's happening. Pero before we dive into that, gusto ko lang mag good evening and hello guys who are here tonight. This is Unfold, where we discover, learn, and share about cryptocurrency in the market, unfolding new crypto insights so you don't have
Have
to.
to. Ayun.
Yo.
So,
Yep.
mukhang hindi natin pagpapatagalin to kasi I think there are a lot of things that in our basket tonight, no? So, by
Mm,
the way, before we start, shout out dyan sa mga taga-Bacolod mo, especially sa mga Web3 communities there. So, also for our communities in Discord and also Messenger, hi and enjoy our show tonight. Ayan.
Ayun. Actually, after the show, later 9 p.m., we're gonna have a fireside chat. A fireside chat is basically like an open chat where we discuss crypto or anything general, cryptocurrency, blockchain, whatsoever in our Discord. We have a guest speaker in the Discord later that will share technical analysis, which is actually our in-house or resident technical analyst, no, si KDGX Trades. So kung gusto niyo matuto mag-trade, learn his style of trading, come in later 9 p.m. after the show via Discord. The link is there in the live. So ayun, see you guys there. Okay, I
Ayun.
think
So, ano ba yung nangyayari ngayon sa market, Pao?
actually a lot. Let's start with the macro market, no. Let me just magically reappear my screen into the live. Shoo! Okay, now that we're here, we're actually gonna talk about Powell. So this is the research and the insights and the studies is coming from our resident macro fundamental analyst, Dazai. Thank you, Dazai, for this. So it's all about Chairman Jay Powell of the Fed that will testify today. He did testify 2 days ago, no March 7, and yesterday. So what is this all about? It's all about understanding what his thoughts are and decisions are for inflation. So ang target niya ever since was that he wants inflation to be at 2%. Currently, it's kind of high. It's not at 2, it's a little bit higher. Hence, he's raising interest rate hikes. So there's interest rate hikes since last year. So we've been talking about that a lot. Because if interest rate hikes go up to control inflation, it's typically a bearish signal for the macro market in general, where stocks would go down, crypto goes down. So what is he saying right now? So this is like a post from Reuters. I don't know how to say it now. Fed's Powell sets the table for higher and possibly faster rate hikes. So I'll just read on like my notes on what Powell said for this one. No? So what Powell said is that the latest economic data have come in stronger than expected, which suggests that the ultimate level of interest rates is likely to be higher than previously anticipated. So Fed is prepared to increase the pace of interest rate hikes to help inflation return to 2%, which means that the next or upcoming FOMC event is likely to raise their interest rate higher than expected. Because we were thinking like just 0.25 BPS or 25%. But this is like a hawkish sentiment from Powell. Another thing, he did say that the terminal rate is likely to be higher also than expected. What's the terminal rate ba? So here in the Fed, Federal Reserve.gov monetary policy table that I'm showing now, the target for 2023 terminal rate is around 5.1%, or with a range of 5.1 to 5.4. But given the hawkish sentiment of Powell, they're looking at it to increase terminal rate higher to 6%. So, kumbaga, what they're saying is yung current interest rates would reach until 6%. Yun yung tinitingnan nila ngayon. That's what they're looking at. Another thing is extraordinarily strong jobs report and inflation reports pointed in the same direction. We will keep capital requirements strong. We will have the tools to get inflation down over time, but the target will still be 2% inflation. So they're targeting it. They're targeting to control inflation rate. So they're looking at a forecast. Actually, the market is looking at a forecast of 0.5%. This is the CME group chart, which shows how the analysts are looking at for March 22. So March 14 is the CPI, Consumer Price Index, where Powell will decide if they increase rates higher, and hence the market would like be bearish or like show a downtrend from that announcement. If it goes like 50% or 50 BPS, 50 BPS, 77.1%, it's kind of bearish for the market. But the probability right now is at 77. So this is going to happen March 2022. Right now, we're seeing that it's also showing in the market currently, this week. You could see a lot of red. Even stocks are in the red because of the announcement of Powell from the past days. It's actually affecting everything, including crypto as well, including Bitcoin. So, what do we expect for this month? Next week, it's the CI report, February 2023 CPI report. If that shows inflation or increase of the consumer price index, most likely the interest rate hike would reach 250 PPS. So it's something that we have to consider when doing our investment. Basically TLDR, this is a bearish sentiment right now for this week. Which is showing by Jerome Powell.
So basically, Powell,
an analyst. Okay, go ahead.
Basically, Jerome Powell actually made consecutive statement for this week, which is somehow there is a kumbaga shift of sentiment from dovish to hawkish. So he's still hawkish. So that means the US is still not done in easing the economic data. So yun, malalaman natin yan this coming FOMC at saka CPI.
Yeah, which is also like so for this year, right? We can't really say that market is good to go. There's still quantitative tightening, especially now that they're looking to increase the terminal rate hike. So currently we are at 475 BPS, diba? That's 4.75%. But for the target, the terminal rate at 5.4, it's like it's going to be an additional 0.6, which is 6%. So that's the terminal rate they're eyeing right now. So that's the sentiment that they have for this week. So likely bearish for the market.
So I gotta have a question in this part. Given on this sentiment, so do you think we are already pricing in terms of the market?
Yeah, so the market is kind of pricing in. just on the statements of Jerome Powell, no. You could see it as well as
Yeah.
into like blue chip stocks like Amazon, Apple, Google, Amazon, yeah, all those stocks. It's also affecting crypto. So we can see like there's like a downtrend right now. But I don't know. What does the chart say for us in terms of Bitcoin and the other blue chip tokens that we have, Joe?
All right. So let's have a shift of a screen magic and
Naglalag si Joe's
okay.
slide.
So again, guys, no, since we are talking about economic data of the okay. Oh, so my internet is not good. Wait, for a moment.
Yeah, Joe, you're kind of
Okay.
laggy.
So yeah, I'm back.
Oh, yun.
It's good.
Welcome back.
Wait for a moment. Ayan, okay na.
Yep, we're good.
All right, yun. So, yeah, so talking about the US economic data, and it means also that it has the same effect on the market, now most especially here in the screen right now, which is the DXY. So, ano yung mangyayari in the coming weeks now for the DXY? So, this is very crucial because DXY is one of the index of the risk on assets. Now, so actually, no, we are in the uptrend for like how many days since January 31 to March 9, no? So yun, we are in the uptrend, and currently we are actually trading below the 105 zone. And if you have noticed, guys, nagkakaroon tayo ng konting breakout, no, dito sa zones na to. So there is a probability that this trend will continue up to the 107. Kasi if I've noticed, Pao, meron tayong nabubuong bullish daily candle in the past 2 days. Ayan.
Joe,
So,
medyo naglalag ka ulit.
if in case would happen that
Ayan, naglalag ulit si Joe
Okay, wait
saglit papayos niya. But what he's saying here while we're waiting for Joe to update is that he's looking at the dollar index to move higher, shown into his screen, no. So the resistance level that he has is at 107.95, but if dollar goes up, it just means that Bitcoin go down, because the strength of the dollar is inversely proportional to stocks and cryptocurrency. This means that people are moving back to the dollar and scared to invest towards other markets. Dahil lang natin si Joe to go back. Sendan kita, Joe, ng data. Send data to Joe.
Ayun.
To
Am I good?
Ayan. Getting better, Joe. Lang, yung screen mo is
am I good?
Yung picture mo lang, Joe, is naka-freeze ka pa rin.
Sorry. Am I good na?
Nawala. Anyway, I will ayan. Naglalag si Joe eh. Naglalag pa rin.
And am I good? Can you hear me?
I think better.
Oh my god. What happened to my internet?
Send
I
internet
should
to Joe.
Change my internet into Starlink.
Ayun, no? Big time. Anyway, sige. Yeah, you're better now. Sabi ni JC, buy Starlink hardware. Medyo nagka-technical difficulties lang tayo kasi medyo na-disconnect lang tayo, no? But we'll get back on track.
Ayun. So, can you hear me clearly, guys? Pao, can you please confirm?
Yep.
Yeah, ayun. So, we are good now. All right. So, sorry, guys, for the technical difficulty. Now, saan na ba ako? So, yeah, the uptrend of this market, the DXY, would be solidified if the release of the economic data would somehow bearish for the market. Ayun. So, yeah, ano ba yung nangyayari sa Bitcoin ngayon, Pao, no? So, let's see the Bitcoin on the first, the weekly time frame. So, ito na yun. Okay, so actually, the structure of the market of the Bitcoin now is not good. Okay, kasi there's already a consecutive red candle for the week. No, so since last February 20, so there is a three consecutive candle now, and this coming Monday, the weekly candle would be closing, and it would be bearish if it will close below this trend line. So looking at the daily chart, there is also a bearish scenario here. Kasi paglalagyan kasi natin ng EMA 50, EMA 200 no, in the daily chart. So makikita natin na it closes below on it, which is somehow an early sign of a continuation of the downtrend. Pero isa sa mga mapansin ko dito, Pao, no, is yung volume. Kasi yung volume niya, since the drop from February 17, so there was a drop, okay, but the volume is not actually supporting the drop. That means, Pao, that there are less sellers that happened on this current market. So anyway, titingnan natin in the preceding days, na these upcoming days, kung mag-i-increase tong selling pressure na to. Kasi we are looking here, no, kung baga hindi safe pa tayo when we are staying above 20k, no. As long as we are above 20k, we are still safe. So what is 20k? 20k is the key support in the macro level kasi ito yung peak ng 2017 bull run, and also 20k is kung titingnan natin sa heat map, no, doon yung maraming volume, no, na kumbaga it's a demand area natin. So there is still a 20k. Now I think you have something to share, Pao, na in the indicator, no, that would somehow make a confluence on why 20k is very important for us.
Yeah, actually, we're looking at the technical analysis of Joe right now. Pero there's also one chart that I am just basing my my trades on, and the chart, which is one of the long-term charts that I look at, which is called the Pi Cycle Top Indicator. So the Pi Cycle Top Indicator has been a long-time friend of mine. It's not, I didn't make this. This is in lookintobitcoin.com. But basically, it's very simple to understand. There are two lines. But first, the price is in black, and there are two lines, the yellow and the green. The yellow presents the 111 daily moving average, and the green represents the 350 daily moving average times 2. So what this means here that is if price is above the yellow line, it's likely to become a reversal of the bearish down or the downtrend. And then if it's higher than the green line, if price is higher than the green line, it means it's just overbought. There's just exuberance. Price is just too high. It's overheating. From there, I'm just gonna go zoom in. Actually, the support level of this yellow line or this 111 daily moving average is at 19,829, which is almost as close as your technical analysis. So yun din yung support mo eh. So parehas lang tayo.
So around 19, right? Around 19 or 20k, so something like that. So maybe in my thought would be it's a liquidity grabbing, no, for in a sense, if the bulls would support the uptrend of the market. Yun. So
if that's the level of what we're looking at for Bitcoin, it's more likely that people would just grab their opportunity to buy more. But ikaw, Joe, are you gonna buy at 19k?
Actually, I'm buying every day, joke lang. As long as we are in this area of accumulation, no, kasi parang di ba we are just retailers, no, and we are looking on the whales. So
yeah.
When we look on how whales are doing, no, we are copying what they are also doing. So, kumbaga, if we are accumulating, no, why not? No, we are also accumulating on this area.
Right. Yeah. Yep. I just want to also take this opportunity to give a shout out to Jobert Kalinog Erodias for sharing again 100 stars. Thank you, sir. So for that, no, dami na nating stars, Joe. But so this is like Bitcoin, right? Sorry, I digressed. So Bitcoin is one thing as a tool to check for the whole cryptocurrency market because it's actually one of the biggest. But are actually bullish ETH also. No, what's up with the ETH being the number 2 token?
And so let's check what's happening on the Ethereum currently. So here, can you see now the screen?
Yep. All
And
good.
yeah, we are seeing Ethereum here. So actually, Paulo, I'm just, wondering, if you can observe, Bitcoin already broke out the line, no? And
Doesn't.
same also with Ethereum, no? But it's holding, no? It's actually holding in a higher in the higher time frame. It's actually holding its significant key support nor areas here, while Bitcoin actually is drawing down. No, kumbaga, there is a
Mhm.
strength in the Ethereum right now that can't be dragged by Bitcoin easily. Yun. So I'm not I'm not familiar with on how the fundamental of Ethereum currently right now. So I think meron kang data dyan sa ating tawag dito.
Mm. So what's happening in Ethereum, right? It's going out to higher lows, but I just want to correlate this with what Powell is saying. Na we're trying to release disinflation, no? But actually, one of the assets that we really like, which is Ethereum, is actually deflating. So I'll share my screen again. I just want to show you this very, very nice chart on why I'm very bullish ETH. I'm like ETH maxi. Again, want to show you ultrasound money. And in terms of the supply of ETH, it's actually going down with a supply change of negative 50,467 ETH. So this all happened because of the merge where now ETH is now proof of stake. And because of the proof of stake that happened last September 15, the supply or the circulating supply of ETH is now going down at a rapid pace because of the burn mechanism that it has. So we are pro ETH. In terms of this just creates more than like a pressure, circulating supply pressure, where if people are pro ETH and buy ETH, the demand is there. Basically, it's the law of supply and demand. Why is it going down? It's because people are using Ethereum a lot. One of them is because of Blur. Blur is an NFT marketplace that has overtaken OpenSea in terms of trading volume for NFTs. I am pro Blur because they are a nice project where they can also show charts on the trading volume of NFTs. Very nice project. Another one is Uniswap. We all know Uniswap swaps tokens. And there's also other people or other applications that are burning ETH at a very good pace of 2.53 ETH per minute. So, yun yung burning mechanism niya. Actually, ETH is the only chain that is profitable. Did you know that? So Bitcoin over time is not profitable. Other blockchain, it's just ETH right now. So it's nice to know. That's what's happening for ETH. So not saying that in this week ETH gonna pump, right? This is long term thing. This is on the fundamentals on what's happening underneath Ethereum. And it just shows you with the current mechanism that Ethereum has, it has a good potential to just be at it's a reason why it is one of the top performing assets for blue chips. So yun, we're also going to have the Shanghai fork on April where stake ETH will be withdrawn, but that's another discussion. No?
Yeah, so just to let you know, guys, that whenever Bitcoin drops, also Altcoin are really following. So it's not a guarantee that Ethereum will pump, then Bitcoin will drop, something like that. Yun.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
at least, but at least, Ethereum right now is actually holding strongly against Bitcoin in terms of the drop. Yun.
Yeah, so I'm actually more Ethereum. Ikaw, Joe, if you were given a chance, if you were like given like $1,000, and then you only had two options, Bitcoin or ETH, which one would you choose?
I would rather choose Ethereum. So I'm gonna add my Ethereum. I don't have Bitcoin, honestly. No, I sold all my Bitcoin last before the launch pad
Mhm.
of the bull run 2021. So because I really believe on the fundamentals of Ethereum, since it's a lot of use cases in the space. No,
Okay, guys, you heard that? That's financial advice. No, just joking. And everything we say here is non-financial advice. If you want to know more, it's just pretty much education. No? If you want to know more about ETH, by the way, in the Shanghai Fork, we have a fireside chat later, 9 p.m., led by KDJX Trades, sharing technical analysis. So you're bullish ETH, diba, Joe?
Yeah,
But
of course.
how about other altcoins? I know that you're looking at one altcoin in particular, which is your altcoin for the week. Very curious on what altcoin that is.
Yeah, so this altcoin actually I'm holding since 2020. So I bought this altcoin in peso, 2 pesos. So yun,
Wow.
I'm still holding it currently and knowing that this altcoin is actually, having its great and wonderful update.
Mhm.
Even bear market, can you imagine, Paul, na even bear market, they are actually building and connecting to a lot of brand, no? Big brands in the web 2. So, ano ba to? Are you excited, guys? Pwede nyo hulaan kung ano to?
Mm.
Can
If
you
you get
comment? Yeah.
if you get it right, Joe will give you one ETH. De, joke lang.
Ayun. So, ano kaya to? So, can you please comment kung anong altcoin na to? Actually, no, this altcoin has an update this month of March. So, it's gonna be going into a new narrative, which is layer 2 and ZK. So, this altcoin is no other than it's Matic, alright?
Matic.
It's
I have one
Matic or
ETH, Joe. Nag-guess ko yun.
Polygon. All right. So yeah. So I'm going to chart this. This is my weekly altcoin chart. So if you are seeing this, now we are looking at the weekly time frame. So it's actually forming a potential symmetrical triangle. So what is a symmetrical triangle? It is actually a pattern. It is a decision pattern. Kumbaga, if it plays out the breakout, it's either up or down. But Matic is a bullish. I'm bullish on a Matic. This is my bias, and this is not a financial advice. So since I am bullish in this coin, then
Hmm.
my bias would be a break to the up. Since Matic is actually building really a strong fundamentals in terms of their services. Yun.
Yeah, especially their business development, right? Ang
Yeah.
daming companies that are building in Matic. My favorite one is actually Nike. Nike, Disney, they're all there. Who else?
Ako Starbucks.
Yeah, Starbucks pala.
Yeah.
Did you know that their NFT that they have is like that membership Starbucks card,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
in an NFT? So which is pretty cool. You don't have to hold those physical cards anymore. Though there's a digital membership already sa Starbucks, no. But pretty cool that they're using NFTs at that kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's only through Matic. Yeah. And also Matic, di ba, pa will be bringing the layer 2 through ZK, right? So that's a big update also for the Matic. So what I am looking here, guys, is that magkakaroon pa tayo ng isang drop, no, but this trend line will be respected, and that is around 0.618 golden ratio, no, or sa Fibonacci natin na support. So for me, this is a buying area. So whenever the price drops here, it's an opportunity for all of us. Yun. So yeah,
Okay,
this is
let's
the
take
Matic.
note. What
Yun.
what's the level? 0.55.
Yun. So this is a long-term project, no, Matic, and this is still has a lot of room for growth in the near future. Yun.
Yep. Additional to that, what Joe said is like in terms of fundamentals, there's a very strong business development team or BD team that's transitioning Web 2 companies to Web 3 through the Polygon network. And another thing is like the ZK narrative. They're one of the leaders that's gonna launch very soon with their ZK EVF. ZK is zero knowledge. It's different type of consensus mechanism. It's different from Arbitrum and Optimism, but it's more secured because it's zero knowledge. If you want to learn more about that, we can talk about that in the Discord. Sorry, Joe. May nakalimutan ako. We forgot to discuss something about Bitcoin, right? Our support level at the extreme is at 18. Tama ba?
Yeah,
18K?
18K.
So around 18K, right? I've actually seen some sell side announcement and updates this week If you remember, we were talking about Silvergate.
Yeah, Silvergate. So
Yeah, we forgot about
we have
Silvergate.
heard a lot from Silvergate last week, and also just today they have actually made a disclosure about the shutting down of their bank, right? So what about it?
Yeah, actually, Silvergate. I want to show you my screen here. Silvergate is actually one of the big institutions that is also focused on cryptocurrency. They're a cryptocurrency focused lender platform. They're a bank in a sense, but they've been supporting projects or institutions, companies that actually imploded last year. FTX, Celsius, and other firms have already left Silvergate. No, some of the projects that were actually supporting Silvergate or actually supported Silvergate was let me try to find it, Coinbase, if I recall correctly. So Silvergate is using the SEN network, Silvergate Exchange Network, to process cryptocurrencies. The reason for the FUD is because they just recently announced voluntary liquidation. What's voluntary liquidation? They are liquidating their assets because they have so much debt. They recently borrowed 4.84 billion or 4.3 billion to pay for their loans. And recently, they did not disclose their annual report because their annual report shows a 1 billion loss for the fourth quarter. So the reason for their losses is because they were tied with FTX. Now, why should we bother this? No, if Silvergate filed for bankruptcy, that's also another big hit for the cryptocurrency space because it shows fear of institutions. Silvergate is one of the big banks, and if they're shying away from cryptocurrency as well, it's showing that the reputation for cryptocurrency isn't that strong to look forward to. The interest is gonna die down. So what's happening right now is another concern because of the active liquidations that they're doing, which is called voluntary liquidation. So if this continues, there's a lot of sell side pressure, there's a lot of fear in the space in the market, and it's more likely that because of that, that could be a trigger towards our support price. It's a good thing though that they did not file for bankruptcy. There's also a question that I want to answer before we move to the next one. There's like thoughts on Mount Gox distribution this March. I just want to clear things out. It's actually just registration of users who were affected in Mount Gox. So if their money is left in Mount Gox and on the whole implosion scale of Mount Gox, you just register for the claims. It's actually extended until April. The distribution of Bitcoin will actually be on October. So that's actually adding on to the FUD. But distribution of Bitcoin is still going to be on October. So yeah, that's like the thing about that.
Yeah, so kumbaga it's just a registration, no, of the
Yeah,
data. So
registration.
getting the data. So there is no effect of the drop of the price since they will be releasing the supply on October pa. No, and I think pa, no, some of the participants, no, like medyo hindi na sila active, no, ang iba patay na, parang ganun. So that was long time ago, and I think some of the supplies are, I mean, the wallet, no, are already gone or burned, so something like that.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, pero that's the thing. So it's good to understand those kinds of things because we have to understand what's happening in the market and we have to prepare ourselves mentally and with our like investment thesis on track. It's pretty much correlated to how we engage the market through like market psychology, you know. So it's a broad topic, market psychology, and it's something I guess that people need to know when they start their investment process or starting into their journey in crypto and buying tokens. But how do you really define market psychology? No, I think that's one thing that I want to learn as well, and which we'll be showcasing in our education segment. No, let's give a glimpse on what does market psychology mean through showing our slide. Na si Joe nakamute. I think he is lagging.
I right.
Ayun, he's kind of lagging.
All right. So ayun na. Can you
Ah.
hear Can you hear me clearly?
Yep, all good.
Ayun. But before that pa no
Ayaw pala.
before the education series, I would like to present this pala no our tawag dito the performance of Bitcoin for the first quarter. So we are about to end the first quarter of the year, and we can see here no how Bitcoin performs with other big markets like Nasdaq, S&P 500, gold, and Dow Jones. So if you have observed, we have a return stood at 32.23%. So it's a big return for the rest of the first quarter of this year, no? So looking at hindi nakaka 50% nga yung Nasdaq in terms of return. So that means other markets are laggy no over Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has really very fast no, in terms of growth and returns. No? Yun.
Yeah. So in TLDR, no, it's good to invest in Bitcoin because it's actually outperforming versus like major stocks and indices.
Yeah. So moving forward to our education series, no. So let's actually learn what is trading psychology. So since ang iba sa atin dito are traders, and also for our investors, no, who also wants to try to trade cryptocurrency. Actually, no, investors are also doing trading kasi you need also to have to address your emotion, to address your behavior and your attitude in investing. So now, what is trading psychology? And this is very, important in terms of starting trading. Pag sabihin kasi nating trading psychology, it refers to the state of mind that a trader is in while he or she is performing a trade. Kung baga pa, no, we are not bots or we are not robots. We do have our emotions and we do have our attitudes towards on how we are performing our trades. So most likely, we are talking about money. So kung baga ikaw as a trader, of course, hindi ka dapat matalo, something like that. Okay? And you need to protect your capital, for example. So this is how the trading psychology comes in terms on how you do your risk management, how do you manage your tawag dito behavior, no, at saka patience, kumbaga. And it represents various aspects of individuals like character and behavior. So that influence your trading actions. So I have made here, guys, no, somehow a trading hierarchy that would guide you the importance of elements in terms of trading. No, so because diba when we say trading or trader, usually ang papasok sa mind natin is charts, no, or technical analysis. So saan ba natin pwedeng ilagay yung technical analysis pag ikaw ay isang trader? So first, no, may tinatawag na yun na patience and emotions. So what most likely patience and emotions comprise? So we have like protecting your emotional capital. You need to wait for the trades. Yun. Dito matitas yung patience natin kasi as a trader, no, you don't have to trade every day. Kasi every day is not an opportunity. There are just things, no, na dapat yung sinasabi ni Powell na minsan sa Discord na dapat you need to have a break, stay away from the chart. So you also have life. Yan. So not trading is also an opportunity, guys. Yun. So dyan matitas yung patience. And also, the revenge trading is very famous to us, especially when we show greediness on our trades and returns. So kumbaga pag natalo tayo, we do revenge trading kasi we want to quickly get our money back, which is somehow you are not trading with the market, but you are already trading with emotions. So yun yung parang i-workout natin. Then, of course, investor mindset versus the trading mindset. So investor mindset is more on the long term and trading mindset is more on the short term. So kumbaga kung trader ka, you are looking at the daily time frame, you are looking at the lower time frame, and that's how your emotion can be tested. And also patience. The next least important is the risk management. So risk management talks about your position size. So hindi dapat buong position mo ay nakataya doon sa futures. For example, if you are doing futures, no, it's on how you manage your trade actually, no, yung stop loss mo. Yun, it's a kind of a risk management. And also, one of the major factor pa na kinakailangan natin sa risk management is actually to minimize our loss. So, di ba we believe that we don't really, predict 100% what the market would looks like in the near future. So, kasi pag ma-predict natin 100%, ayun, ano ka na, billionaire ka na. So, since we don't have, di ba? So since we don't have the third eye, no, hindi tayo si Madam Auring na we predict the future. At least we have 80% edge in the market, and that's through risk management. Yun. Tapos the last one would be the technical analysis, no? So kumbaga ito yung pinaka nasa ilalim. Okay? Which is technical analysis would just follow if you address patience and emotions and risk management. Yun. So, it's all about reading chart, entry, exit, market selection. Pero pag na-establish mo na yung patience mo, emotions, risk management, you could easily, establish also your technical analysis skills. Yun.
Yeah, actually, I have like a thought on this. No, when I did trading, I was actually looking at the gains than the losses when I started trading. Parang tinitingnan ko lagi, magkano kayo mapapanalunan ko dito? What's my reward if I enter here? But I realized pala, Joe, is that you're not supposed to look at your reward. You're supposed to look at your loss. Kasi it's more important to manage your losses and your risk than getting that reward in. I mean, you trade because you want to win, right? So dapat your risk to reward, you have more reward than your risk. But if you focus more on the level where you want to come out, it gives you a sense of safety. It becomes your safety net. That's how I try to do my trades right now. So I don't really leverage. And if I see like a good opportunity, I don't really check how much I will win. I just want to see first how much will I lose and then just go from there. That's like my sense of thought for this one.
Yeah. So, you guys, if you want to learn more about trading psychology, so I think it's kind of related to what our one of the core will be doing later in our fireside chat. So sa mga viewers na wala pa sa Discord, you can join our Discord and join our fireside later. So it's a kind of continuation on the trading discussion later.
Yeah, KDGX Trades is our resident trader, and he's a core member of TCA, where he will be sharing his style of trading. If you want to learn about trading, we'll also be there and see, and then just share. If you have any other questions for Unfold, we'll also be there for you. So yeah, patience and emotions first, no? How emotional are you pag nag-trade, Joe? Have you ever tried being very emotional? Because I remember I did revenge trading before and I lost more than my initial trading.
Yeah. In a way, Pao, before I was so really greedy in terms of the returns, no? Kasi like, for example, doon kasi matcha-challenge yung yung appetite mo, yung wallet appetite mo, yung capital appetite mo. Kasi the more you gain, the more you increase your tawag dito, wallet appetite. So, you increase also your capital. Yun.
Right. Yeah, I do remember I was trying to revenge trade because I had a trade nung sa Bitcoin at the 4-hour time frame. Tapos talo. Because there was a big spike. So, ang ginawa ko, eventually I went to the 1-minute time frame. Tapos 25x leverage. So, ano yung pera ko nun? Wala. Naubos lahat. Because I wanted to get back yung gains na. Kasi laki kasi ng position size ko. Sabi ko, I'll make it back in the 1 minute. And then I lost everything. So, revenge trade is very bad.
Yeah, exactly. So I think meron ka pang you want to discuss something aside from the business. So I have seen now in your screen
Yeah, there's something that I want to share because one of the questions that we have in the community is, aside from Matic, what else or what other altcoins have like a potential or like strong fundamentals in the future? Which I want to share here. Why I'm very bullish on Pendle Finance. Actually, Pendle Finance has been in my watch list for a very, 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 very long time. It's because of the fundamentals that it has. It's also number one in our March picks because of the capabilities that it can do for decentralized finance. I'm a DeFi guy. So in terms of NFTs, blockchain gaming, very limited lang ako doon. Kasi wala ako masyado din eh. I'm more on finance, DeFi, protocols, and stuff. So I will share my screen now. Whoop. Sharing my screen. Magically sharing my screen. Because one of the reasons I'm into Pendle Finance, it's the capabilities that it has to provide in the whole crypto space. So first, what is Pendle.finance? So I'll just open my screen here. So I'm not sure if it's being shown here. Yeah, it should be being shown. So Pendle Finance is a DeFi protocol that allows you to buy assets at a discount. That's like the simple term, but it's actually a yield trading protocol. It's a derivative. It means it gets its value from the underlying asset. What you could do here is you can control your yield or buy assets at a discount. So why Pendle Finance? They are a derivative platform. They are an interest derivative platform. And interest derivatives is one of the biggest markets in traditional finance. I don't make the rules. Here is the facts. The notional value of OTC over-the-counter derivatives rose to 632 trillion end of June 2022, up from 598 trillion end of 2021. It means the market share in traditional markets is very high. In TradFi, they are into interest derivatives. Why is it so big? Because this is the platform for the big players, institutions, banks, governments. If you know bonds, na-try mo na ba maglaro sa bonds, Jo?
Yeah, it's a actually traditional financial instrument. No, it's backed actually by fiat. So
yeah,
I think this is somehow a kind of a good strategy for the crypto space. Because they are moving the TradeFi into the space, no.
Yeah.
With this kind of support, no, not technology, which is the Pendle Finance.
Yeah. So additional to that, right, into bonds, like if you're gonna play with bonds, you have to deposit money, and then they get a certain bond, right, that caters to like interest rates or the interest over time. So what happens in traditional finance? There are mechanics there where you can separate yield and the principal, which we call zero coupon bonds and the coupon. So the coupon represents the interest. The zero coupon bond represents like the principal, that the amount of you provided. So what they do basically is that I provide you money, you give me interest over time. So anything interest, you can separate that in Pendle. So you can actually trade the yield component. Why are people trading yield component? Because they want to hedge against variable yield, where institutions have so much money. They are holding millions of dollars. And if yield moves, the returns that they have will also move, right? If it's like 3% yield, 4% interest, mababa lang yun for us kasi we're not big. But if you have $10 million worth of assets, and then your interest moves by just 1%, that 1% is big. So what people do is like they get a fixed rate, or they can actually buy more of the interest. So that is what Pendle is bringing. They're actually tokenizing and trading interest rates in DeFi. One of the first platforms to do it, actually. And they're one of the first platforms to bring that kind of mechanics for DeFi. Another thing is, we are going towards global adoption, right? And if you want to bring in institutions, you have to provide them the tools. We already have lending and borrowing such as Maker, Aave. We already have swaps, exchanges such as DYDX, Uniswap, GEMX. But we don't have the tools for yield or interest rate swaps derivatives. Interest rate swaps is actually more than, see, here's the chart that I want to share. It's more than 550 trillion. And Pendle is aiming for that. So they're actually kind of like trading in a sense, but instead of trading tokens, you're actually trading yield. So in terms of that thing, it's actually very complex. Retail users don't really understand yield derivatives, but Pendle is not really aiming for that. You can aim for that through like buying assets at a discount. If you want to buy ETH at the long run, you can actually buy it 6% cheaper in Pendle. But you just have to wait for a time. So example, if you're looking to hold ETH for like a year or 2 years, you can actually get it cheaper in Pendle at 6%. Let your money do the work for you. Now, why is this like an important part? Because this is also part of the real world assets narrative. Remember Maker? Maker is a borrowing platform that or stablecoin platform that mints DAI through collateralization. They're a CDP, collateral debt position protocol. So they're bringing real world assets in. Maker is actually bringing $600 million worth of real world assets ETFs to mint DAI stablecoins. Actually, Maker is one of the biggest platforms to bring in institutions for minting stablecoins, which is the DAI stablecoin. So far, they've already brought in 600 million plus through different agencies such as Monetaris Clydesdale, Huntington Valley Bank, Block Tower, just to mint stablecoins for them to use into DeFi platforms. So if they have that capacity there, they need to find an avenue that they're used to utilize. They're not gonna play with blockchain gaming. They're not gonna play with NFTs because that's a Gen Z thing. That's a millennial thing. You don't expect institutions to trade Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs. You're expecting them to use the traditional finance tools that they're used to operate in TradFi. And if you don't have that in DeFi, it's gonna take a while for them to adopt the space in terms of decentralization and blockchain, whatever. So they only know Bitcoin, but if you bring these tools in place, then that's a thing that you could look forward to. So institutions is the key for global adoption. That's why I am bullish on Pendle Finance and what they're doing. Okay. In terms of the market cap, is it too late? Okay. The interest rate swap derivatives is actually at a 598 trillion market, right? So that's a lot. Take 1% of that. What's 1% of 598 trillion, Joe? If you know. Actually, I don't know.
Exactly.
It's actually 1% of 598 trillion is like $5.98 billion.
Yeah,
What
malaki
happens
din
if,
siya, no?
yeah, it's big, no? What happens if we bring that to the space? What happens if, example, Pendle is able to capture at least 1% of traditional markets value, no? This is the current market cap of Pendle. It's 23 million. And if they're able to capture that amount, you could expect something.
Yeah, so that means kasi technically yung all-time high ngayon ng Pendle is umabot siya ng mga around $1, di ba? So like given with the current price now of the Pendle, so that means that it has really a lot of rooms for growth in the long term.
Yeah. So that's one thing that I wanna share. It's bringing the complexities of finance, traditional finance, into DeFi and bring them the tools for them for try it out. Because if you don't bring them the tools, they're not gonna adopt crypto. They're just gonna adopt, yeah, they're gonna adopt Bitcoin. But what happens to the traders, right? So in terms of like trading, there's DYDX already. There's GMX. There's perpetual futures platforms, but there's no yield or interest rate swap derivative platforms. There's options already. There's Dopex. There's Ribbon. There's already those kinds of platforms, but this is not there yet. I mean, this kind of platforms not there yet. So that's one reason. Yun, I hope I was able to answer. That's actually one of the topics that I want to share. Why Pendle? Lastly is maybe just a glimpse of GBTC. So Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. So what is this? It's actually this is actually long term for me, no. Joe medyo bearish tayo, no. But Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is a trust fund for institutions and retail to go in Bitcoin. Bitcoin isn't really regulated, but they're using this platform so that they can have like a share on Bitcoin without actually owning Bitcoin. What Grayscale does is that you deposit your money to them, they buy Bitcoin at a certain time weighted average price, or the TWAP. And then as Bitcoin moves up in price, that's the returns you get. So you in a way you get the share of the pool of Bitcoin that they have. So recently we're seeing a growth in the Bitcoin trust over time. 4 or 5 days, it's growing. It's because long term, institutions are still bullish on Bitcoin. But they can't buy Bitcoin because they're regulated. And if they want to buy, they have to also put this in their books, right? But Bitcoin isn't really part of the regulations yet. That's why they buy the shares for tax purposes. So this is pretty much a institution platform to buy Bitcoin. And also a sign where if institutions are buying Bitcoin, it's a good sign for the long term. So we're looking at this now, went down, but volume is going up. One of the platforms, I think the investors here is actually ARK Investment Group of Cathy Wood. So it's something that we should take notice. So for the years, for the long-term year, it's down. But currently, for the past 6 months, we're seeing some healthy traction going on. This means that institutions are getting back and are interested again with Bitcoin.
Yeah, I think there's one question here, Paul. No, this is actually related to the CBDC. No? So, according to the viewer, no, he said that what can you say about the possibility of the CBDC token being backed by Bitcoin? So my thought here is that in the very first place, kasi when you say CBDC, it's actually backed by the fiat money, you know. So it's a digitalized fiat. So in a case of doing Bitcoin, so I think Bitcoin is a kind of like volatile tawag dito asset, which kung ibabak mo siya doon sa CBDC, no, there's somehow kasi 'di ba Bitcoin is using blockchain. So kung baga there is a kind of security, so something like that. Yun. How about you pa? What is your thought on it?
Well, there is securities for CBDCs. That's correct. Kasi CBDCs or central bank digital currencies, what we call that, is still going to be backed by fiat, right? And fiat is heavily regulated. So
Yeah, exactly.
if it's going to be backed by Bitcoin, it could be a different kind of fiat already.
Yeah.
Because CBDCs have a different, or current fiat currencies have a different backing, diba? It's spread across. I'm not really an economist here, I can't really answer, but for me, CBDCs is something that I wouldn't pay close attention to, and it shouldn't be part of like the crypto ethos. That's for me, right? We already have USD denominated digital currencies, which is USDC, USDT, BUSD, all those kinds that we have right now, and they're working already. But if you're gonna bring like yen, digital yen into the space, first off, okay, you can do it for yourself, but do you need blockchain technology to do that? I don't think so. I mean, it's not something that I want to ponder on because I'm very crypto native. I think I'll leave that discussion for people like you. But for me, I have nothing to say in the matter. Being backed by Bitcoin, I'm not sure the regulations behind it. Kasi kahit nga SEC walang alam sa regulations on Bitcoin. So bringing that as a back for CBDCs will take a long time for me. So I wouldn't really think about or like even giving insights about that because one, I'm not an expert on that area and it's very regulatory heavy.
Yeah, I think
That's out of my world.
Yeah, I think it would take a long time for it to ano talaga kasi it's subject to a debate pa eh. No, kasi in the very first place CBDC is being created because of the fiat, no? So digitalized fiat. So that's the very purpose of the CBDC. It's a digitalized fiat. So if Bitcoin kumbaga parang malayo pa siya sa katotohanan, no? So, yeah.
Yeah, pero thanks for the question, Godwin Robertan. If you have insights there, I want to listen to you then. I mean, baka there's something that I don't know. I want to learn from the community, which you could actually do in our fireside chat. Actually, you spent 1 hour, no? We're gonna have a fireside chat after this unfold. Please come to our Discord. We will learn a lot from our in-house trader, KDJX Trades. And also for your questions that you have here in our live, let's talk about it in the Discord. I want to hear from you then. I did not actually finish one topic I want to share, which is account abstraction. I might share it there during the fireside.
Ayun. So anything else from you, Pao? So in my end, I'm good. And also, guys, thank you for listening and for staying for 1 hour. Yeah, we give valuable insights here, and also, yeah, like pwede kayo mag-suggest ng topic actually na dun sa Discord natin kung ano yung itatakal natin for the next week so that we can also prepare for it.
Yeah, TLDR siguro natin, Joe, no? Let's expect something on March 14, which is the CPI report, and then March 22, which is FOMC. We'll discuss that next week and then week after.
Yeah. So, anything else?
Yeah, I think we're good. Well, I'll go back to Discord. We'll chat there. Sa mga gustong pumunta doon, let's go hang. Thursday nights. Chillax tayo doon.
Alright, so thank you. Before we close, we need to have our closing spiel.
Our favorite closing tagline. So thank you guys for watching. This is Unfold, where we discover, learn, and share about cryptocurrency and the market, unfolding new crypto insights so you don't have to. Ayun.
Yan.
Thank you, Joe, for tonight. And thank you guys for watching. And we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
See you sa Discord.